Do y'all agree with these women? This video is brought to you by Officer Privacy. Officer Privacy, you need to get your information off the internet. These major sites, and I know you guys have all seen it. You type somebody's name in there and it pops up and it gives address. You're like, are all of that person's personal information on this internet? It's because people are out here sharing your information. They're buying your information from other platforms. So Officer Privacy will remove all of that stuff off these major websites. And there's an aspect of monitoring. So they remove it, monitor it. If it pops back up, they'll keep monitoring and keep taking it off the internet. If you're a first responder, or if you in a high profile job and you're afraid of people getting your content and doxing you, you need to work with my buddies over at Officer Privacy. OfficerPrivacy.com/Tatum. The link is in the description section. Make sure you're protecting yourself. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad, my boy Chad Jackson, he was a big component in Real Chad Jackson is his handle right there. He was a major component in Uncle Tom movie 1, and he's going to be prominent in Uncle Tom 2. Just so y'all know, there's going to be an Uncle Tom 2. Anyway, he posted this online, and do you guys agree? This is not me giving an analogy or giving a synopsis of whatever is going on. I want to know what you think. And all of those words I just used probably were all used wrong out of context, but I don't need to I guess, expound upon the things that they're saying. I want to know what you think. Do you agree with these women on how children should be taught in the education system? And if you don't agree, do you think this is an exclusive issue with women in the education system? Meaning that when you look at the amount of female teachers and you look at the amount of garbage being pushed in some of these schools, is there a correlation? Somebody told me once that men should be teaching in the schools, not women. I'm not willing to go that far, but do you think it's a correlation between feminine women energy and what they think should be taught to children in schools? Like I said, I'm not making a declaratory statement. I don't got none of my words right today. I'm not declaring anything. I'm not making a statement about it. So don't get mad at Brandon and say, Brandon said women. I want to know what you think. Rotafilm.
Is why modern-minded women shouldn't have any control over education.
Public schools are asking students to engage in role-play scenarios as gay or trans students.
Teach about sexuality, teach about tolerance, whether heterosexual, homosexual, even in elementary, children are finding out who they are early on. And people that want to feel uncomfortable, everybody's not heterosexual anymore.
Right.
I think that it's so important to know how to behave if somebody reveals themselves or is just open with their feelings. I know today I'm telling grown men, yo, if a gay guy hits on you, take it as a compliment and know how to make people feel accepted. Like, we shouldn't make everything feel like a threat. Like, that's the thing that I think is important to learn early on.
We have to change the way things are taught because the world is different. We have to talk about, same-sex love and accepting one another, even if you don't like what you see.
I just think the sooner that you bring awareness, the easier it is to have acceptance. That's just me. Like, in our family, we're very, open and honest. Like, okay, this is a man that has now decided he wants to be a woman. He felt like that's what he identifies as. And at this point, my nieces are like, oh, yeah, I get that.
I do think it's okay to be taught in kindergarten. I think that if you have conversations and a kid is speaking their truth, just listen to them.
I still don't know the thems, the thus.
All right. Y'all get the drift on what's going on here. I said I wasn't going to comment. You comment in the comment sections, but I think I have to say something. I can't just let this go unchecked or examined. I don't think kids should be involved in that type of environment where they're talking about sex and gender and all that. I think that kids should not be involved in that. If you want to come to school and kids are bringing that topic up, that's not the place. You say, that's not appropriate for school. You should have that conversation with your family at home. That's the job of the parents. Just like, let me give you an example. You had those people in Florida, the teachers quitting, saying it's not fair that we don't get to talk about our lives. This is who I am. Why can't I talk to kids about who I really am? It's like, well, if you a slut, are you going to talk to kids about your slutty behavior? That's the same. It's who you are. No, you're not. You're not gonna tell students that you just broke up with your boyfriend because you cheated on him. Kids don't need to know the nuances of everything you go through. as a person, they need to know this is Miss Johnson or Mr. Jackson, whoever you are, and Mr. Jackson this is what he likes to do. What do you like to do, Mr. Jackson? Like watching football, like going to the park. Keep it PG. You might like to go to the strip club. That don't mean you're gonna tell kids that. Keep it PG. And anything that becomes so involved in your personal life that it may not be suitable for children, leave it out of the school. When it comes to your relationships, are you married or not? Maybe that's a conversation that nobody should be having with kids. Marriage has nothing to do with teaching. And a teacher, kids don't need to know everything about a teacher. I remember Miss Moss. She's the reason I got this long tattoo on my arm, is this arm. Excuses. She gave the definition of excuses. Excuses are tools of incompetence used to build monuments of nothingness, and those who use them seldom amount to anything. If you made an excuse in a class, you write it 50 times. So of course, y'all already know. I wrote it 50 times before. So I remembered it. It's an invaluable concept and perspective. I didn't know much about Miss Moss. I knew Miss Moss as my teacher. She was, very strict. She loved us. She cared about us. She wanted us to get an education. It wasn't no playtime. I remember we couldn't even go to recess because we had to finish schoolwork, and I hated her for it when I was a little kid. But when I grew up, I realized that Miss Moss cared probably more than all the other teachers that would rather take it easy on us and not really hone us in on the education that we needed from school. And so, I didn't know nothing about her husband. I mean, I never even thought, does Miss Moss have a husband? I mean, that stuff really didn't matter to me. Miss Moss was the lady teaching me schoolwork. I don't care about Miss Moss. I didn't know if she smoked cigarettes. I didn't care if Miss Moss was fast when she was in school. I don't know if Miss Moss ran track. I mean, that wasn't. She taught us math. I only know what Miss Moss teach in the classroom, and I do think it's an issue with women sometimes because I feel like women, the agenda. Let me tell you this, and I'm getting off here. I promise. The LGBTQ agenda will be perpetuated and infiltrated through women. Why is that, Mr. Tatum? Because women are a lot more accepting of homosexual men than men are. That's just my opinion. And so whatever the empathy and the compassion that women see in this stuff is something that men ain't necessarily privy to. And so when you talk about voting and what should we do with our kids? Should we be accepting? And women are a lot more on that side. Not every woman. You the one watching it right now, you already get mad. Don't get mad because it ain't you. I'm talking about there's a lot of women that feel that way. I'm not talking about you and your girls who are all mama bears. I'm talking about the people that live next door to you that ain't about nothing. Their kids ain't gonna never be nothing in life because they ain't doing nothing as a parent. So I think people are pushing that and they're open. And if men were in control of some of these things, I think men would be less likely to be tolerant on some of these issues for a kindergartner. I'm not saying you shouldn't have some biological scientific education on some of these things, but your opinions don't matter in the school system. Anyway, comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Do you agree with these women? You disagree with these women? Are women the problem, or is it a people problem, an emotional problem, or a spiritual problem altogether? Love you guys. See you on the next one. Make sure you get your stuff off the internet. Officer Privacy. Link is in the description section. I'm out.